Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. I'm Retro Nerd Girl, and I'm broadcasting live from the International Science Fiction Space Station. And yeah, we're just doing the headlines today. We're not going to do a review of anything because I'll explain it a little bit later. But yeah, I just figured, why don't I try it this way and see if it works. If you guys like it or not, let me know if you guys prefer it the other way. We're just always testing new things and seeing what works around here. By the way, I hope you guys can all hear me. Yes, Keith E says that he can hear me. This is wonderful. I do love it when my mic works and everything is going smoothly. So far today is one of those mornings. First up, we have Unicorn Rampant Studio says, good morning, Retronians. Camille and I are out and about and listening to the headlines. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much for for being here. And BGD is here, says good morning. Good morning, rise and shine. I see a little sun there. Yes. Right where I'm at, it's really cloudy, but yeah, want to see that sunshine today. And I hope you're doing very well. Thanks for joining me this morning. The major is also here, says rolling through, drive by. Hi. Well, thank you so much. I hope your morning is going very well. Jama Lama is here and says good morning. Awesome, awesome. Of course, we have Keith E in the house. Thank you so much for being here, Keith E, and holding it down for us. And then Jamalama also says, LOL, I have headphones, so I'm awake. I hear you. I hear you. I did not get much sleep last night, and I really wish I had a little bit more, but I couldn't, I couldn't help it. It's one of those nights. I tried everything to go to bed on time and it just didn't work. So what are you gonna do? You try and you try. Um, but yeah, and some, once you're up and you're ready to go. And so I'm gonna get things started since we are done with the greetings so quickly this morning. And I'm gonna add to the stage. Good morning. Let's see. Um, And we're diving right into it. Oh, Unicorn says, I find that if I lie awake for 8 to 10 hours, I can fall asleep when I'm having trouble. Yeah, yeah. Um, it's weird. Like it's so weird because I'm not even sure sometimes when I decide I want to go to sleep. It's just so weird. I can't seem to manage exactly how to do it. And then sometimes I get it down. I get it down, and then I lose it again. It's just um hard. And the Dark Knight is here. Oh my goodness, so good to see you. It's been a while. Oh my gosh. How are you? How are things going for you? I hope you're having a wonderful morning. And Unicorn Rampant Student says, but normally I have no problems, and that's referring to going to sleep. Just close my eyes and I'm unconscious. Oh my God, you're so lucky. You're so lucky. Yeah, because sometimes I'll be at work, I'll be doing stuff, or I'll be putting together slideshows, or I'll be, reviewing something or trying to do something, and then all of a sudden I get sleepy and I just sit like this and I close my eyes and I'm kind of like trying to get my, assessment of like, am I sleepy enough to have to go to bed right now, or should I continue working? And my mind wants me to keep going, but really my body is like, no. It's like my body's like, go get that sleepy one. And so I lay down and I go to sleep. I do, get all cozy. And then all I could do is think about the things I have to do. So wild. So wild. The Dark Knight says, I have the hardest time falling asleep. I'm so jealous. Right? I wanna just I wish I could just hit the pillow and go to sleep. And I know some people take aids in order to help them go to sleep, like they'll take like Unisom, or they'll take um, melatonin. And for me, I just wake up really grumpy the next morning if I take those things. It's really horrible. And you wouldn't like to see me grumpy. It's not nice. That's not the way I don't wanna get up grumpy, but, yeah, it's just one of those. It's so hard to go to sleep when you want to go to sleep, but it's always when you're listening to a lecture that you really wanted to listen to, and then all of a sudden you're like, the words start jumbling together and it's like, "Brr, brr, brr, brr," and then the next thing you know, you're like, "Oh, get me up. I really wanna listen to this." Dark Knight says almost to the point of asking my doctor for help. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. If there's something that works, um, yeah, if there's something that works, I think it's great. Um, every once in a while, I'll get it together and it'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I'm sleeping properly." And you know what messed me up was New Year's Eve, messed me up. Because I stayed up late for New Year's Eve, and then my body's like, "Oh, so you wanna stay up all night long? Well, let's do this." And so, yeah, I've been having troubles ever since then, but it's always like a fight of, like, every couple of months it happens. Every couple of months, I just I have such problems sleeping, and it hurts your entire body. Like, my entire body hurts because I didn't get enough sleep. It's really wild. It's really wild. I hope that you find a solution, Dark Knight. It's really, really hard. I completely understand, especially those days when you don't get any sleep and you have to work. Um, and oh, those are brutal. Those are brutal. So yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there. And, Jamalama says, "I fall asleep watching a show or movie, but it has to be good. I get absorbed and just drift off." Um, and also take, trazodone for a year now. It's been a blessing for me. Oh, really? Okay. I I don't. I'm allergic to most things, so I it's really hard for me to, like, jump into something new, but, I should experiment a bit and see if something can help. It is really tough, yeah, if you can, Dark Knight mentioned going to the doctor to see if there's anything that can help, and I think that's a smart move. If it's really it's really messing with your life a lot, and, yeah, I think I'm just gonna recalibrate and see if I can get it back together. Every once in a while it happens where it's perfect, so I'll cross my fingers and hope that it does. It's not too bad, just yet. And BGD says, "At least my insomnia at least my insomnia allows me to do my best creative work." Oh, really? Oh, man. And says, "Probably because my daytime creative work is not that great." Oh, I hear you. I hear you because I have a day job, and so your day job, you do what somebody else has got going on for you, and you do that. But when I get home and my weekend, well, that's when I start working on stuff for retro nerd girl stuff, reviews and things like that. And it just really encompasses my entire time. And so it's like sometimes it's like it gets to be like midnight and I'm like, well, just one more hour. I'm almost finished with this slideshow. Or just one more hour and I'm finished with this part, this recording. um and it just keeps going on and on and on and on until like 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm watching the sunrise and it's like, oh, you messed up. This is when I'm supposed to be getting up. Oh, man. And, but yes, I hear you. I hear you. When you're living a double life, if you could say that, Clark Kent in one part of your life, the other part Superman. So, or you can do Bruce Wayne, Batman. Gemma Lama says, trazodone allows me to get sleep through the night, no side effects, but need more than but um, don't need more now than I did at first. Oh, really? Okay. And the Dork Knight says he'll ask his doctor about that. Yeah. Oh, good. You guys are helping each other. This is wonderful. And Jamila says, "Yeah, I like, yeah, like any med, talk to a doc, but I had real problems before." Okay, yeah. I totally understand. Totally understand. Um, yeah, I mean, the sleep is a tough one, isn't it? Um, So yeah, let's just talk about what's going on. First, we'll talk about box office. That seems to be easy enough. Let's see if I can get to the next slide. All right. So looks like Mean Girls is number one. I mean, after the struggle of getting everyone to understand that this movie was a musical, people got into it in the second week. So finally, Mean Girls finally tops the charts. That's good for Mean Girls. I mean, I like the movie, the original movie, and I suppose this must be. It's got the same storyline. I'm sure it'll be like a decent story. I'm not sure if there were any changes that were made, but looking forward to eventually seeing it one day and when it's streaming. I think it's good for that movie. And number two is Beekeeper. Okay, now the Beekeeper has so many different like views as far as like some people love it and they because it's got a lot of like maybe cheesy stuff in it. That's what I was told. I don't know. So it's a fun movie if you kind of take your brain out and like enjoy it. Like this isn't a thinking man's movie, but for some people it's like really terrible. It's horrible and a big shame, but it's number two, so it's holding on to that spot. This is David Ayer's movie. I'm not sure if he did anything after Suicide Squad, but his career has felt like it's been sort of in at a standstill ever since that movie, and it's kind of nice to see him like do something else. And I definitely want to see more work from him because he's really talented. He's just not utilized properly. I feel. Then number three, Wonka is still holding on. This has been the sixth week. So people are enjoying these musicals. Look, this is the second musical on this list. So um, maybe we're getting a resurgence of musicals. That might be interesting. But not that musicals is like my favorite of mine, or it's musicals are like this. I resist them, and then when I go to see the movie, I end up loving the movie. So it's really wild. Woo! Excuse me, guys. Woo! Um, I am having allergy attacks today, so uh, do excuse me. Oh, by the way, let me just check to see um, if you guys are how you guys are doing. Okay, you guys are holding strong. All right. So yeah, that's how musicals usually work for me. Is like I usually resist them, but when I see them, I'm like, oh, that was so good. So I do hope that Wanga hangs in there because hanging out at number three after week six is actually pretty good. Then there's Migration, and that seems to be doing very well. That's a family film, I believe. Anyone But You. I haven't heard anything about Anyone But You. That's very interesting. It's in its fifth week, number five, so it must be strong. Just not, I've not heard much about it, either good or bad. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Oh my god, I am shocked. I am shocked, guys, that it is still holding on to the top 10. People said that this was going to flop really, 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 really hard. And even I was like, I don't think this is going to really do much, but I was hoping that it was going to do a little something. I didn't want the DCEU to, you know, totally go out. In the worst way possible. So this is the last movie from the DCEU, and it's holding on. Somebody out there is enjoying it, and that's wonderful. Hold on for 1 second, guys, while I do this one thing. Yes, I had to sneeze about 5 times. My allergies are like, "Yes, hey, let's have fun today." So, yeah. Okay, so I've been oh, wow, I'm totally, got out of that one. Uh, this movie, ISS, someone in the chat last week asked me about this movie. And of course, you guys know that I'm on the International Science Fiction Space Station. So I guess somebody thought that this was the same station, and it's not. It's not the same station. So yeah, this is really cool. It is a horror movie, as far as I heard. The word on the street that I've been hearing from other reviewers is that it is intriguing, but not super flattering. Like, wow, this is an amazing movie, and also not like this is total. You know, no one's saying it's terrible either. So it's sort of like a mediocre movie. We'll see how it plays out in the weeks coming up, whether it stays on the top 10 or, if it takes a dive. We'll see. But when you have movies like Wonka and you have Mean Girls up there in the high, up there on the list, it's going to be tough to kind of climb up the charts. But this is its first week, so making the top 10 is pretty good. It's pretty good. Now we have Night Swim, which is in its third week. It's at number 8, and that seems to be doing well. And this is another one I hardly hear anything about. Not much being said about it. No buzz. The Boys in the Boat, another one without a whole bunch of buzz. It's at number 9. This is week 4. Yeah, I I I can't say I've heard anything about that one. If you guys have heard about any of the movies like ISS, Night Swim, The Boys in the Boat, let me or anyone but you, let me know what your thoughts are in the chat, or even if you've heard any buzz, let me know what that might be if you have any news on those, because I'm totally in the lost when it comes to these movies. Except for ISS, I did hear some things about that. Poor Things, which is up for a lot of awards during this season, is still out in theaters, and it is at right at number 10. So I think a lot of people will be still going to the theaters to see it, just so that they'll have some context for the award seasons that are happening up in the next couple of weeks. And we've got a Netflix film. Queen is it Netflix? No, IMAX. Um, IMAX films. Queen Rock Montreal. That's in its first week, and so I didn't even know this was coming out. So this is intriguing to me. American Fiction has been getting a lot of critical acclaim, and also people like completely hating this movie. Still, kind of hanging out in the top 20 at number 12. And Iron Claw, I've heard amazing things about that at number 13. And to close out my little list that I have here at number 14, the Book of Clarence. This is the second week. This is one that just sort of surprised me. Didn't even know any much about this one. Um, let's see. Let's see who's in the. Oh, I've seen. I got a lot of them. Dory Isis, God bless you. Thank you so much. Yes, for all the sneezing. Thank you. And E. Stevens says, "Hey, Retro Nerd Girl, random question. I created a new YouTube channel, Popcorn Cobra. Wanted to ask you advice on getting your channel monetized." Um, oh, sure, yeah. Like how do you get your channel monetized? Well, right now you don't need you need 400 subscribers, and I believe 400 subscribers and a certain amount of views. I think they let you know how much that is in the um, YouTube system, uh, where I think where it says monetization. or earnings or something. It should tell you that. But it is basically just, I'm not sure what your content is. Tell me what your content is. What do you got? Popcorn Cobra. By the way, cool name, Popcorn Cobra. What is? I'm intrigued. So let me know what the content is. And Gemma Lama says, I've never heard such a wide range of opinions among people who generally agree, or when they differ, it's nitpicky stuff. This one, it's love or hate, not much in between. Um, yeah, yeah. But which one is it? Which movie? 'Cause it's just weird, like, a lot of them is like, either they love it or they hate it. Unicorn Rampant Studio says she does have an email in her channel description. That's true. I believe she does give advice, talk to her about experience as a creator. Oh, thank you so much, Unicorn Rampant Studio. Yes, you can, E. Stevens, you can send me a message if you'd like. Um, and BTD says, I wonder what some of these top contender movies look like relative to their production budgets. Ooh, it can be useful to understand how deep in the hole they are upon release. Yes. I think I mean, you could do the research, and 'cause sometimes they'll put a lot of that stuff on IMDb, which is very helpful. If you have a pro account, I know they give you certain information is not available to the public. And I'm just not at that level yet to get one of those. But yeah, there are ways of finding out. There are ways, and yeah, it's very interesting to me. Like a movie like Godzilla minus one, look, has the quality that it has, and yet it didn't cost a lot. And then maybe it's just the difference of the money across um, different countries, or is it just that we're not utilizing our money here in America? Or and a lot of these places have, they outsource a lot of their content, so I don't understand it. I don't know what the thing is, or are the producers taking way more money than they should out of the pie? Investors and producers, who knows. I really would love to know. The inner workings of the business is really a lot more complex than we can even imagine. And each film is different, set up differently. And Koji is here. How are you doing, Koji? It says, good morning, wishing you and everyone a good day. Off to work. I go, will catch the replay. Oh, great. Oh, great. I hope you're going to have a great day. And it is not too cold out there for you, because I know it's really cold everywhere. And Gemma Lama says, Lance from the Outcast Creative really likes Boys in the Boat, and his opinion is very esteemed. Okay, absolutely, yeah, he does know his a lot of movies. We usually like a lot of the same movies, except there's some occasions when we don't like the same movies. But yeah, if he says it's good, it's worth giving it a look. And Keith E says you need 500 subscribers and 300 hours and 3,000 hours of watch time. Is that the new regulations? Because let's see, it was 400 at one point. So I don't know. Like they changed they changed the numbers around so many times. But Demalama says beekeeper with the opinions differing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, yes, yes. That was what your first comment was about. Yeah, it's so wild. Like sometimes I wonder if it's just personal. People just have a personal issue with the filmmakers or people in general, and they don't like who is doing the movie. And then people are like, "Oh, we need more movies led by guys." Well, here's one that's led by a guy, and people are not even it's just I don't know. I don't know the public opinion now. I can't guarantee I fall in line with everything everybody says. So all I know is that there are some people who are enjoying it right now a lot, and they're going to the movies to see it. So it's kind of cool. I do love when a an underdog. Um, I always vote for the underdog because I think it's important to triumph over adversity. So, yeah, I always have a soft spot in in my heart for for groups or just like filmmakers who are trying to get their films made and seen. Um, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. E. Steven says, "Thank you. I just do reviews of movies and shows." Oh, cool. I'm glad you like the name. I was trying to find a name that people can remember. Yes, that's a good one. That's good. Um, Popcorn Cobra. I like that. Gemma Lamas says, "Yeah, I love that name, Popcorn Cobra." Yeah, and there's Popcorn Cobra. This is my channel, LOL. It's low quality because I'm just shooting on my phone, but I enjoy giving my reviews. Okay, yeah, yeah, that sounds really awesome. And yeah, that's I. When I said the last week when I was talking about streaming, start before you're ready and keep going. Just, the only advice I could probably give you right now is keep making movie reviews. Keep going. Keep going. This is really interesting. And Norman Jewison dies. Fiddler. He's the um, been part of a lot of productions that were really um, fond of. And Fiddler on the Roof is one big one for those who remember the 70s. And Moonstruck, really big movie in the 90s. And Heat of the Night director was 97. And he's got a long list of movies that he's been a part of, and it's just really a legend. So it was kind of surprising for a lot of people in the industry when he passed on, but he's lived quite a long life, as you can see. Also, David Image passed on as well, and everyone knows him as Flyboy from The Dawn of the Dead. And hmm, and next, I was supposed to do the brother son review today, and I got to and Netflix, and I was like, oh my god, I really want to see this. I really want to see this, but it's 8 episodes, and they're all like 40 minutes or so, and I just was like, you know what? I'm kind of worn out with the series. Like, I can do a movie and it's fine, but that's a large chunk of time to do like a series review every week. And I'm exhausted. I want to do like movies. I rather do movies than series. And so I'm not saying that I'm not going to do it, but I am going to do it. I'm just going to wait till the time is right to do it. And I'm thinking and I'm wondering if I should devote it like a completely different time instead of putting these things together. Like, so today is more of an experiment to see if headlines by itself would be great for me to just do because I seem to have a lot to say about the headlines. They seem to get drowned out by the reviews. So maybe I should separate them. And let me know if this works better for you, if you rather have the review and then the headlines. So let me know ahead of time. And by the way, I do plan on watching this. I've been hearing really incredible things about this show, that it's mixing comedy along with action and all sorts of really cool things. Likable characters. So I can't wait to see it, but I need to put it into my schedule in a better way than it is now. Oh, look, and Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU is here. Hello. I've got lots of cool emojis, movies, retro, popcorn, movies. Oh, that's so awesome. And these are all emojis that you can get from becoming a member. So thank you so much, Taylor Swift greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU. You're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. And I wanted to talk about this ever so briefly. Why is everyone quitting YouTube? And I've got a picture of Matt Pat because he did an sort of like a goodbye kind of video where he talked about his time being on YouTube for over a decade of just like really incredible content, spanning over maybe four different YouTube channels. And I've been watching him ever since the very first video. So, I mean, I've been watching this his channels for a long time. So it's sort of the end of an era for a lot of people. Uh, and he's not the only one. There's a whole group of people, and now you're going to be seeing a lot of videos that are just saying, "Why is everybody quitting YouTube?" Like everybody's chiming in, which is great. However, it really speaks about the and maybe there should be something in place for YouTubers to have some support for each other and some sort of support. That would be great to have that from YouTube as well to help their creators figure out the platform easier. Not only that, but also give them emotional support for when things change, like the algorithm changes or focuses on YouTube changes, trends that happen there. More recently they've had this emphasis on YouTube shorts and is really becoming a big contender for TikTok. And shorts are a lot different than the kind of content I do. And you know there are all these solutions. You could take your content and um, boil it down to the nearest into like 50 minutes of content in a certain format, and then there you have the short. And like changes like that, which are huge changes for people who've been on the channel for a long time, mean either you devote a whole bunch more time on this and see if it works out, and like it's a huge gamble, or you hire somebody to do it for you, which means you have a team, and there's a lot of stuff that you've got to have in order to run like this huge business, which is worth it for a lot of people. But on the most part, it can be very, very stressful because some people are losing the same excitement and flavor that they used to have when they got started with YouTube, the fun of it, the fun and excitement. And so, yeah, I think it is very um, there needs to be more in place for creators on YouTube for just this kind of stuff to prevent burnout. Every few years, you get this huge exodus from the platform. In fact, maybe you can even say every year there is like a whole bunch of people who just say, "I'm quitting YouTube." And so, what does that mean for the platform? Usually, the platform will keep going, but it also means that, hey, maybe something is a little bit broken here. We need to fix because there should be more reasons why people should want to stay. Just saying. But Matt Pat's been doing it for a long time. This is a job for him at this point. And so he's like, I think I'm ready to retire or change jobs. You don't stay with the same job for the rest of your life. And so, yeah, I think for a lot of people, they think that YouTube is going to be their forever job. But it just doesn't work out to be that one. And Gemalama says, I have mixed feelings on Brother Sun. I definitely didn't like it as much as most people. I would say check it out, though. A lot of people I generally agree with loved it. Yeah, I mean, uh, one thing that might be a deterrent is, for some people might be the violence. There's a lot of it, but also that's our culture, but sometimes you need a break too. Sometimes you need a break from all of that. And so I'm not sure, like I said, I want to be ready for if I'm going to have 40 minutes for 8 episodes, I need to like I don't need to I need to like section it off and just say, okay, I'm gonna do that. It's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. Couldn't we just have had a movie? I mean, just exhausted of series, and they're not all good. Like Echo was mediocre. It wasn't horrible, but it was also like, the thing that kind of frustrates me about shows like Echo, Secret Invasion, um, what was the other one? Ahsoka, Mandalorian season 3. We're talking about 4 seasons, 4 shows series that, had 6 to 8 episodes. We had 50, some of them went up to about 15 minutes, so from 30 to 50 minutes, and they were mm, uh, okay and had a lot of potential, but did not ever reach the climax that I was looking for. That like, oh my God, what an incredible series, Um, and so that's a lot of time. If you add up all that time, that's a lot. That is a lot of time. Does anyone have that much time anymore? I don't I don't think I really have that kind of time. And E. Steven says, I'm old school. I like long form content. Me too. I mean, I like to get a nice 1 hour video, 2 hour video, 3 hour video, just especially if it's somebody I really like listening to or talking, I'll just, listen, even if it's content that's not always something I 100% agree with. At least it's like I can sit down and I don't have to keep hitting a button and be glued to it either, because I can like go and do a chore, and as I'm making dinner or doing some chore, I can watch this program or watch what somebody is saying, and it could be still informative. I don't have to like be concentrated on it 100% and keep hitting the button for hours and hours and hours. And so I kind of want I don't want to have to do that. But there's also, I think, for a lot of times autoplay that will do, but you don't have control over exactly the content you're getting. And so I think a lot of people are very much addicted to the thrill of seeing something flash in front of them that is going to shock them every 5 minutes. But that soon, that may not last forever. That may not last forever. And you guys are saying hi to each other. And the next big thing that happened this week is the Academy Award announcement of all of the nominees. And I think that this is a very interesting year. I'm looking like I've never been really big into award ceremonies. I respect it as something like, hey, we all need to let our hair down every once in a while and have a little fun. And this is kind of fun for the industry. It's not really, not only is it fun, but for them, then they get to dress up and go. It's sort of like their prom, if you will. Prom for actors and directors and filmmakers. Uh, but it's also like a way that they can show each other some love, and that's pretty cool. But I think for a lot of people, they take it really seriously, and when you get an Oscar, it's probably the highest level of awards you could get as a filmmaker or someone in the industry, and so it does become a serious matter in that. Um, so we'll just go through some of the main ones. I'm not going to go through every single last one, but just the main ones. Oh, just before we get into that, Jamalama says there's a lot of violence and I believe the brother's son, but it's not gory, super graphic, and the fight scenes are well choreographed. A lot of humor, uh, and lighter content to balance it out. Yeah, I heard that it was really well balanced, and I like I said, I can't wait to see it. And I just the just hearing that it was 8 episodes and it was like they're all really long. I'm like, oh no. You understand what I mean about the time. It's just, ooh, do I have time for all of these things? I don't know. And Taylor Swift, greater than Disney Star Wars. Oh, it's saying hello to it's saying hello to Jamalama. And Danny Staten is here. How are you, Danny Staten? Greetings from South Carolina. And it says, what do I miss? What did you miss? Oh, we did the box office top 14, and we talked about um what else? We talked about people quitting YouTube, and now we're on to the Academy Awards. So we the first one that we are up to right now is film editing. So the nominees are Anatomy for a Fall, which I've never seen, or even I didn't even know this movie existed until just now. Putting this slideshow together, I was like, "What is Anatomy of a Fall?" So yeah, this is my first time, but it is up for like a lot. And then of course there's The Holdovers, highly acclaimed, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. This is pretty much the standard for a lot of these movies are multiple nominees um, on these lists. And for sound, we've got The Creator, which is um, I know a lot of people did not like that movie, but I also heard that there were some things that were different about that movie. So some people did like that movie. Um, there was also Maestro, Netflix film actually, Oppenheimer, In the Zone of Interest, and Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One, which is a real surprise that they're being honored. And yeah, they actually mentioned it on their X profile, where it says congratulations to the cast and crew of Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning on their Academy Award nomination for Best Sound and Best Visual Effects. So that's really cool. Um, and also original score. So American Fiction has one. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. John Williams is up for one. Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Very, very interesting list. And some people, I heard somebody was saying that John, I mean, it's kind of disrespectful, the jokes that they were saying, but this one was, they weren't even sure that John Williams really had much to do with that score. Except for it was his original score that maybe had been tweaked and fooled around with. But I don't know. That I don't know. But I do know that John Williams has received his 54th Oscar nomination. This means that he has extended his record as the most nominated person alive. Isn't that cool? He's still breaking records in his 90s. He's just wonderful. I do love John Williams, and definitely love his spirit. He's been working for so long, and it's just great that he's still being recognized. And Danny Stanton says, I just bought 2 Mission Impossible comic books from the 70s. LOL. Ooh, that sounds really cool. I've actually never seen one. That sounds really, really cool. And Gemma says, wow, John Williams, yes. Isn't it like crazy? Yeah. And so good for him. Good for him. And the Academy, let's see. Original song. Okay, so this was Was this the one that was contentious? I'm not sure. Well, let's just read them off. Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot Music, lyrics by Diane Warren. I'm Just Ken. Um, and this is from Barbie. And it's the leader right now because it won an award last week. It Never Went Away from American Symphony. Uh, then, oh gosh, Was He a Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon? And then What Was I Made For from Barbie? Uh, that is okay. I'm really gonna be looking out to see which one wins this one because it could be any one of them, any one of them. So I'm looking out for that. Costume design. We've got Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. And we also have production design. Also Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. So yeah, there. This is the first time in 20 years that costume design and production design have matched uh, uh, absolutely the very same. So is these little tidbits. I mean, I love X for this. They give you everything about. You learn everything about a subject matter if it is in the zeitgeist. So I do love that. God bless the people on X. And the Academy Awards for Adapted Screenplay, American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Zone of Interest. And look, Zone of Interest is a movie I'm just hearing about um, within the last week. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, there was this is the one that was contentious because people were saying that Barbie should have been an original screenplay because there had not been another, Barbie movie, if you will. But I think the reason why it was put into adapted screenplays because Barbie as an idea, as a concept, was pretty much created by Mattel, right? So we're not dealing with a brand new idea or IP creation. Barbie and a lot of her toys and a lot of her storyline really revolved around what Mattel has already done. And so that's why it was put into adapted screenplay. It's very interesting. I hear a lot of people wanting Barbie to have so much more, and I definitely feel like we have to like pull back a little bit. I know we want our favorite thing to win everything, but just pull back a little bit and give other people a chance to get something, okay? So yes, I believe in this case, adapted screenplay, according to that logic, actually makes sense. I don't know if you guys have any words on that. Um, let's see. Unicorn says gold key photo covers. Oh, what's that from? Uh, and uh, Gemma Lemma says he must have a full-time shelf builder. Uh, who's this? Ooh, okay. Don't answer, guys. Don't answer. John Williams. Now I get it. Yes. And oh, okay. And Danny Staten left a link for his comic book stuff that and it says will be very impressed. Okay. Yes. Go ahead and check that out. And Unicorn Rampant Studio says cool stuff. Yeah. And so yeah, and Academy Awards for original screenplay, Anatomy of a Fall, Holdovers, Maestro, May December, Past Lives, and let's see. Yeah, and I think Barbie wanted to be people wanted Barbie to be in this one. And international feature film, we have Oi Capitano, Perfect Days. Oh, we'll say Oi Capitano, Italy, Perfect Days, Japan, Society of the Snow, Spain, um, The Teacher's Lounge, Germany, The Zone of Interest in United Kingdom, and animated feature film, which is like, um, I want to see all of these. Actually, I really want to see all of these. Now, The Boy and the Heron. I've heard really great things. I definitely want to see that. Elemental. I can't believe Element is on here, but I really I want to see what just so that way I have context. Definitely want to see it. Nimona. Now, Nimona is on Netflix, and I've heard really good things about Nimona. Um, and I want to check that out. I want to check that out. Robot Dreams is one. I've not heard anything about Robot Dreams, but if you guys have heard about Robot Dreams, please let me know in the comments because yeah, I wanna get it looks like it's a Spanish production. And then Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and I have some catching up to do with the Spider-Man movies, the animated ones, and so I'll need to catch up on that. And it looks like it's. I hope it gets something. That'll be great. Um, Okay, for visual effects, we've got the creator, which I saw the effects for the creator and I was like, wow, that looks really good. Godzilla minus one. Oh my goodness. So, yes, I'm just super happy for Godzilla minus one. I'm so glad it is getting the recognition it deserves. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon. And even though I think Napoleon got some really um, scathing reviews, I do, some of the pictures that I saw of the cinematography and some of the things that you could tell were special effects because they are so amazing looking. I think it would be interesting to um, see that movie for from the angle of just the special effects if you were like a special effect nerd. And there's this really viral video of the Godzilla minus one team reacting to their Oscar nomination, which was so fabulous. It's so contagious, the happiness and the joy that they experienced in that moment, and I'm so glad that they captured it on video because it just will brighten up your day when you get to see it. So if you ever want to see that on X, go ahead and take a look at it. It was really really great to see. I just love seeing people happy. I really do. I really do. And that's just a wonderful moment there. And they deserve it. They deserve it because and I really hope that we start to open up to more international works here in America because they have a lot to offer. We're just not able to see them as much. They don't get the same distribution. We have to dig for them. We have to ask for them. It's really hard, but I hope that we do get more international works becoming more a part of our lexicon and our zeitgeist. So here's cinematography. El Conde. Never heard of this. This is really cool. This is another purpose of the Oscars is to expose us, especially me, to movies I wouldn't otherwise be exposed to. Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I mean, Poor Things has um, got a lot of legs at this point. And we're getting to the last group, actor in a supporting role. Sterling K. Brown, what a huge win for him to be nominated. Robert De Niro, Robert Downey Jr., who was amazing in Oppenheimer. This is a career moment for him, and I am rooting for him to get it. Actually, Ryan Gosling, who is sort of kind of surprised that he's you know uh, being nominated at this point. Mark Ruffalo also from Poor Things also being nominated now, and this is something that the people on X have noticed was Mark Ruffalo and Robert Downey Jr. were both nominated for the '96 Oscar, and these two guys were in Marvel movies. So, being in a Marvel movie or being a part of that legacy does not end your career, does not stop your career. There's life after Marvel. And so, nominees for actress in a supporting role: Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple, America Ferrara for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Nyad, and Davine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. And a lot of people, um, well, America Ferrera, I think, is sort of a lot of people want her to win, but also Emily Blunt is kind of I think she was outstanding in Oppenheimer. And I did not see the other roles, but we'll soon, I guess, get more examples of their talent as we get closer to the award ceremonies. We'll probably see clips of their work. And nominees for actor in a leading role: Bradley Cooper, Coleman Domingo, Paul Giamatti, Cillian Murphy, and Jeffrey Wright. And yeah, I think the leading um, one right now is Cillian Murphy, but Paul Giamatti. A lot of people are thinking he might be a winner. Jeffrey Wright could also sweep up from behind and just snatch that Oscar away from both of them. So it's anyone's game at this point. It's actually kind of cute to speculate about these things. There it's yeah. And El Necron is here. Hello. I hope they get it. And El Negron says the movie looks great and it's time Big G gets recognized. Um, says Big G. Big G, I like it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really, yeah, it's just, I do love this stuff. I think it's really quite interesting. So, the internet or Hollywood Reporter, actually not the internet, but we won't blame the internet for everything. But Hollywood Reporter a couple of days ago came out with its predictions for what they thought was going to be. Jamalama says Killian. I thought it was Cillian for so many years. So don't worry, I'm a compulsive corrector. Oh, I hope I did say it right. Cillian. Um, oh, Killian. Is it Killian or Cillian? I thought it was Killian. Um, I heard somebody say it, and it was Killian quite a few times, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let me know if it's Cillian. So they for Best Actress, they did a poll, which is quite interesting. And for Best Actress, they really had Lily Gladstone as the top runner here. And I think that they may be right about this. They might be right about this, but you never know. There's always Emma Stone. Now, Carrie Mulligan, um, she, she might sweep in there. She might sweep in there. What people did not like like was that Margot Robbie wasn't nominated. So this is a huge upset that Margot Robbie was not nominated for Best Actress, and as well, Greta Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director. So a lot of people are very, very upset about that, and point out that Ryan Gosling um, was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, which he didn't have to be, right? He didn't have to be nominated. They could have picked somebody else. They saw something in his performance, and so he was nominated. I don't understand why. Um, I know that some people are upset about it. That's all I'm going to say. But all I'm saying is that they didn't have to nominate him either. So at least the movie has more nominations. Is all I'm saying here. Um, and so yes, and for directing, we have uh, Anatomy of the Fall, which um, is directed by Justine Ferret. Sorry, Triet. Sorry, Triet. Sorry about that. Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese, Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan, Poor Things, Logos, Themos, and The Zone of Interest by Jonathan Glazer. Now, so there was the reason why they were upset about Barbie not being nominated for, or Greta Gerwig not nominated for directing, was male chauvinism. That Ryan Gosling, being a man, was nominated, and all the women associated with the film was not nominated. But yet, under the nominees for director, there is a woman. Anatomy of a Fall, Justine. So it doesn't quite like it doesn't really kind of make sense. Also, it's okay that you're not nominated for everything. Is that okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, congratulations to Martin Scorsese on his 10th Best Director nomination for Killers of the Flower Moon. He makes history as the most Oscar-nominated living director of all time. That's big. That's big. We're making huge strides. Give me one moment, guys. My goodness, these allergies are out of control. Oh my goodness, it was bad. And so yeah, they're really getting at me today. The nominees for Best Picture, we've got American Fiction. We got everybody here. Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, The Zone of Interest. So there's a lot of nominees for Best Picture. And this is anybody's game at this point. The strong front runner right now is Oppenheimer because it's raking up all of the awards, and a lot of the other award ceremonies. Usually, the Academy Awards kind of sort of follow suit. And I think the last one, I think that really would, the one that really is the closest. I think the BAFTAs is the one that really is the closest matchup. So yeah, very cool stuff. And IndieWire reports that the Hollywood studios are alive and well. They dominated just and announced Oscar nominations with Universal's mighty biopic Oppenheimer leading for a Best Picture win and expected 13 nominations. What? 13 nominations, really great. And Greta Gerwig's Barbie has earned 8 Oscar nominations. Do you see what I'm saying? We're talking about a wealth of riches here, and because you don't get everything, does not mean that this is a horrible moment in history. Okay, can we just accept that 8 Oscar nominations is an amazing feat for any movie? Period. Can we say that? Can we just say that? I just don't like when people are so um, entitled. And this is one of those moments. It's okay though if you like a movie and you're like, oh man, I wish that movie was up for, was nominated for this or that, or it's great. But we shouldn't get like too tied into this and like lose our minds because the entire system is wrong. Burn it all down to the ground because the not everybody was pleased with every single aspect of everything that happened. And uh Jamalema says, oh no, I got it. It's Killian. Okay, sorry about that. Killian. I've been saying it right, I think. Yeah. Killian. Okay, great. Woo. Once an idea gets in your head, it's like it's hard to um it stays sometimes. And BGD says Jeffrey Wright is a superb and underappreciated actor. He went to my high school, LOL. Oh, cool. Um, um, yeah, I've always liked his work, and he's kind of had a resurgence lately, so that's good. Uh, and Gemma says, right on. I love Jeffrey Wright. And Moonbeam is here. How are you, Moonbeam? Says, all right, I need to check out my new handle. Uh, and says, same channel, new handle. Oh, what's your new handle? Because I see it as Moonbeam 87 still. And Jan Lama says, I thought there was traditionally like 5 nominees for Best Picture. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot, right? I thought so too. Like most of the other um, awards have 5 nominations, but for Best Picture, they just like, okay, everybody come on in. It's a big party. Let's have fun. And I think it's actually kind of cool. Kind of cool that they added so many names at the end. It was sort of like, hey, we recognize you. You had this movie was outstanding. We recognize you, and that's pretty much it. I think because Barbie could have been ignored. It could have been ignored all the way through the line, right? They could have just completely ignored everything to do with Barbie. They've done that in the past to movies that have done very well, like Top Gun Maverick. People love that movie. They like actually love that movie, and it got like zilch, right? I think maybe they have one like appreciation award for something. Um, yeah, I mean, and Gemma Lama says next step is participation Oscars. Yes, yeah, it's true. But like there are. I think because movies are subjective, right? What's going to be the one that wins is probably not going to be the one you love. Um, the chances are very slim, but it's also you gotta be humble. I think being humble is way more classier than being like, oh, we've been done this injustice with 8 nominations for Oscars. Come on, they can't give you all the Oscars, especially if they feel as if there were other people that needed to be seen. Who who are you going to kick off the list to put those other people? And they're like, oh, that should have been, best director. Which person do you want to kick off the list? You want to kick Martin Scorsese off the list for best director? Like, who are you going to kick off the list? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Let me get to this message here. Vijiji says, clearly it's better for both the Oscars and the industry to have more nominations and bigger pack for Best Picture with greater uncertainty during the run up to the event. Yeah, I do. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I just do think that um, it's just a way for them to just recognize the nominations are great, but getting the award is the super prize. It's the prize, um, and there can only be one. Like Highlander, there can only be one. Oh man. And so we go on to the regular entertainment news, where we find out this week that 2 years after Hyla Hutchins was tragically killed on the set of Rust, a grand jury has indicted Alec Baldwin and with a charge of involuntary manslaughter. And for some people, they believe that this is justice has been carried out, and you know for some others it's tough breaks for a tough break for Alec. But I don't think he went to go shoot that lady. I don't think anybody believes that, but I think a lot of people were concerned about his behavior afterwards, was how he thought that there was no way that anybody could see any guilt in his participation in the process. So it is really, really sad to see this happen. But also, I wish kind of he was a little bit more humble in the beginning and just said, "Look, whatever you got, I'm cooperating with all of this, and uh, this is terrible. Whatever happens here." But it seemed like he was really, really um, trying to make it look like he was innocent, which he was. He didn't have to try, but I mean, still, I think in the court of public opinion, he lost. And that's the opinion that really matters, isn't it? The court of public opinion. They, people didn't trust him after that, or felt a certain way about him after that. And Jim Malema says, "Is there award show? It's their award show. I'm happy for everyone who wins or is nominated, but I really can't take award shows seriously anymore. I would argue that um, I don't know what the last word is. Oh, I would argue that the expanding field dualities it and dampens the impact of the Best Picture nomination. Like I said, though, they can do whatever they want. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can do whatever they want. I like the shows. Uh, Again, it's a veneer of for a few moments. The in and outs of Hollywood can be very dark, and making films is not always easy. Can be brutal. It's hard work. It's it can be cruel, and so yeah, this is a moment where they can celebrate and we can kind of enjoy it as well. for a few minutes, get our minds off of some of the other things that are going on in the world. And we also have the option to completely tune it out as well. We totally we it's a choice, right? It is a choice, and that's the other beauty of it all. Um, like either get into it or stay out of it. I'm really sorry. I feel bad for Alec Baldwin. I mean, I feel like he, there was somebody that they wanted to blame, and he's the one, and again, he lost in the court of public opinion because a lot of people aren't really sympathetic to what happened. Variety said that the American Federation of Musicians rallied members on Monday ahead of bargaining with the studios, which will focus on artificial intelligence. Now, I bring up this story because, woo, AI is doing a lot of advancements right now when it comes to music. Well, everybody was saying like, "Oh yeah, this is like ages ago. It's going to take a long time. Robots are not going to be able to create art. They're not going to be able to create music, so we're safe." The very thing that we thought for sure AI, robots, artificial intelligence was not going to get is the first things that they get. They get the art and they get the creativity and they get the music. You could do anything with stuff now. You could get, hey, here's all of John Williams's music. Create a somber 4-minute um, um, uh, score and make it um, go into the crescendo by the last third. It can do it. You can just put the stuff into type it in, and it can output some of these things. There are ways now of refining that stuff. So all of these positions, of course, I think there will always be people who are interested in listening to live music played by real people. We won't lose the art of humanity. We won't. Because I think people will value those things. But if you really want to survive the next revolution of what's coming, you got to learn how to do the stuff on computers that, you got to learn how to talk to AI and make them create stuff for you. You have to be part of that, or you're not going to have a job. That's going to be the future jobs, is getting AI and or creating stuff through AI. They're going to be the new tools, um, the new instruments, if you will. Instead of picking up a piano, right? Or we're going to be picking up like computer systems and just knowing how to work those things out, and knowing what to input into the AI and to get things we want. That's the future now. We have to really start listening and looking at this stuff because we may get lost in all of it. We may not have, a lot of people may not have jobs by the end of this. So yeah, that's really harsh. Gemma Lama says, "Is the okay?" Oh, I did read all of this. Sorry, I lost my place. Um, oh, okay. BGD says, that said, when movies are advertised, the spots just say Best Picture nominated, not Best Picture nominated out of 10. I hear you, BGD. Oh man, yeah. And And Gemalama brings up a good point. Says, in fact, there's been plenty of deserving movies left out over the years, and I think that's the reason why they expanded it was because they were like, there were a lot of movies that were being. It's fine as long as there's one, as long as there's one winner at the end, and they're not like giving people, um, like, oh, we're splitting it into five. It's like, no, make a decision, somebody. Um, yeah, it's really a tough one because there's so many movies I want to see, or see get their flowers, if you will. I was very happy um, for Godzilla minus one, but at the same time, uh, yeah, there's only going to be one winner, and I hope it's more Godzilla minus one for visual effects. Woo, excuse me. Woo. But yeah, it's at some point. I think that's the other issue because a lot of the other um, award ceremonies have a longer list of nominees. So I don't know. I don't know. And thank you, Jamalama. Thank you, Jamalama. Sorry. I hope I wasn't too loud and didn't blow out anybody's headphones. Um, oh, William Blake Hall is here. Says just got out of a home care visit. What happened? Oh, yeah, we're just doing headlines today. I'm trying to, I think I'm going to split up the headlines from the reviews just to keep things, very, a little bit more organized for myself um, and take off the pressure of having to see a full series of content every single week. There's been a lot. And so um, I'm going to veer away from all the series and make them more of a special thing than to just and see if this works. See if this works. This might work. Well, we're just giving it a shot and seeing how things go. Um, and yes, and Gemalama, yes, thank you for explaining that. We were also we went through the box office, and now we're going over Oscar nominations as well, and we're going through the uh, the headlines basically. And so right now, we were just talking about the music federation, the Federation of Music, that are having an issue with AI. And I was just explaining, hey, the future of AI is that we have to learn how to to use AI. And that's where the future jobs are going to be at. The ones that AI is going to be replacing. So yeah, it's really sad, but and it is also the the next wave because that's where jobs are going to be. And William Blake Hall says, thanks. Notable name for today is Jamalama. Cool name. New cool name is Popcorn Cobra as well. Yes. And Thrash Panda Pons is here. It says, hey, cats and kittens. Oh, great to see you. Just so great to see you. And yes, and my gosh, guys, I am really having a hard time with the allergies right now. It is crazy. But the next story is that Hulu has acquired Thank You, Good Night, the Bon Jovi story, a four-part series that marks the first ever docuseries on the brand's history with full cooperation from all past and present members of Bon Jovi. And that is pretty exciting for Bon Jovi fans. We remember all those songs, and it will be on Hulu, and I suppose they may have it on Disney Plus. So I'll have to look and see if I can watch it when it finally comes out. Um, yeah, let me handle this one situation with these allergies, guys. Um, it'll just take me a quick minute. I'm gonna put up the allergy video. Um, in the meantime, let's see if I can. Where is it? Here we go. It's it was still wasn't enough time. Oh my God, I'm dying. Let's see. And BGD says, your point about AI is an unfortunate truth, but we don't have to hasten that future, nor must we accept it without a fight. Resistance is not resistance is not futile. Yes, that's true. But I think when it comes to like big corporations, they're starting this stuff immediately. They've already it was already started already, which is the other piece of it. And I think you can fight it about so much, because like I said, there's always going to be a desire for people to see real musicians perform live. That that is we've always loved that as a human, as a culture, the human culture. But I think also we're fascinated by it. I think where we are, um, and it coming out of a record player or coming out of a computer is not the same feeling of actually seeing a performer perform. There's a certain kind of energy that you take from it. So there's stuff that AI is going to try to do, is going to do very well, and is going to work for certain areas, but there's always going to be needed a human element in some other area, and they have not figured out. There's some things that they're working on that's really scary, and I won't scare everybody, but all I'm saying is learn what you can about the basics. So when it's time for like job replacements and stuff, and there's going to be a huge wave of that in the next 5 years, um, that we're at least armed with the minimum. At least we can start somewhere, because the stuff is not about will it be implemented. They're already implementing it. It's which um, is sickening, to be honest, that they've already started, and have already started to downsize their companies. William Blake also says, I think a movie called Electric Dreams was about a computer composing pop tunes. Oh, really? Oh, I'm going to write that down. Uh, uh, Electric Dreams. It's so funny because I saw a poster for Electric Dreams recently. And I was like, oh, what's that? So thank you. That will probably go on my list of movies to see soon. Oh, Demalema, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. You're really sweet. Thank you so much, Demalema. You're amazing. Um, and let's see. And William Blake Hall says the big move proceeds. Thrash. The world looks a bit bleak, but it's still hopeful. Yes, it is. It's still hopeful. And oh, that's right. You are moving around some stuff, and of course, all prayers and wishes are going with you while you move and things like that. Definitely. Um, and Thrash says, now that's an allergy post. Yes, it wasn't even enough time because, my God, the allergies. They really got me today. And William Blake calls this, I just got done last night with a watch party for Tron, and there's a line about the machine starting to think and the people stopping. To which, of course, I say mighty no. Yeah, I mean, people are not going to stop thinking. We love doing that. But we also have to uh, make sure that um, that we continue to challenge it, and not just challenge it, but also like there's things that work really great, right? Like technology for us to have this conversation right now, the way we're having it, it's wonderful. Um, and there's a certain kind of smart uh, technology that allows us to do that. It's connected you guys to my channel and so on and so forth. But it's also scary because people are going to lose their jobs, and a lot of these big corporations, they've already started the process of firing a whole bunch of people. So everybody's going to have a job. What are we going to do? Uh, what how are those people going to make money? And not enough of us are are going to be able to get um, public assistance. So it's really we're designing a whole new world, and corporations are the biggest designers of our world, whether they want to believe that or not. uh, it is. And Ella Negron says AI is soulless garbage. Well, I mean, if they are using some AI for like smart stuff that can help, like medical um, inventions and things like that. But I think that it really needs to be some kind of like structure around the way that people are, corporations in particular, are using it right now. And BGG says basically what Nutcraft just said. And William Blake Hall says AI reminds me of the generic products that were all over the 1980s that turn up in the movie Repo Man. Ooh, okay. Um, I suppose that's another vote for Repo Man for me to see Repo Man. Um, it was a 1984 movie, though it looks like there was a TV show with that name a few years ago. Yeah. And Unicorn says, I can't wait for the flesh fairs to start like in the movie AI. Yikes. Uh, and Gemalama says, AI is a tool that can be effective for things like increasing safety or for traffic control, not for writing scripts. Okay, well, for one thing, writing scripts, they're already doing it because you can tell, because some of the stuff that they're writing is really generic and awful. That much I can tell you, and I have a very low standard for, like, I'll give you a lot of leeway, um, because there are so many movies that I've watched that are guilty pleasures, and they're a lot of fun. But some of the stuff that they're writing right now, it's like that is definitely AI writing the script, because it doesn't have any heart in it. If not, if those are actual people who are writing, well, I have no words for you. I have no words for you. Unicorn Rampant Studio says, the very last place to put AI is where it is in control of human movement. Ooh, yeah. It's great for us. It would be great for us to decide our own movement. And people love thinking. I wonder sometimes. And Unicorn Rampant Studio says, nowadays it's just how many days can you survive in the woods before the drones attack you? Unicorn, you are just you always crack me up. And Jasper the Fun says, Repo Man is the quintessential 80s movie, yet still remarkably relevant. Okay, so I know I keep saying I'm going to watch Repo Man, um, and I've have that on my list now, guys. William Blake Hall says, a Repo Man's life is always intense. Uh, and Jamalama says, I'm not saying put in charge of anything, just to be clear. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Unicorn says, I'm okay with AI controlling things. I'm only pretending to be human. Oh, man. And let's see. And and Elnecon says, I mean, for the arts, we need human connection from music, film, writing. I think so. There is the intangible that you can. It's sort of like it's the uncanny valley of emotional connection that these things are giving to us. As far as like that we get from like actually knowing like this is from the artist, this is from Pablo Picasso. We know that he was a real person, he lived. These are things that came from his mind, visuals that came from his mind. That's special. um and so there's a connection between human beings cross generations, time, things that really feel like I feel connected when I see Pablo Picasso's work. I feel connected to him by just looking at it. And though I do see some of the art that they're doing now, combining everybody's work, it's like, who do you give credit to? Who do you say, wow, that person really did a fantastic job? You can't, because it doesn't belong to anybody. And that's the problem. That's a problem. And corporations love that, because that means that they don't have to they don't have to pay anybody for it. They don't have to pay rights for anything. It doesn't belong to anybody, but they're also using the talents, the artistry of humans that existed. So yeah. And William Blake Hall. Oh yeah, for writing in particular, like you can tell these soulless scripts where it doesn't even sound like human beings are actually speaking, and also they feel like someone is just saying bullets of events that are happening. And this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, but there's no connection to any of it. Doesn't mean anything. And the music is actually kind of interesting, but also what is it like? Usually music touches you in a way inside you, especially if it's by a person, because it's like, hey, we're saying, we're translating our feelings into music. So it's just kind of weird. um Also, when you want to, oh, I love that song. Oh, it came from AI. It's like it immediately cuts off the humanity. So you're like, okay, well, who can I thank for bringing this song into my life? Oh, that was done by a machine. Doesn't have the same effect. emotionally. Ooh, hold on, guys. Ooh, it's happening again. Yikes! It's really bad today. Oh gosh. And Moonbeam says technically AI is soulless. It doesn't have a soul because it's programmed machine. Yeah. And even like the people who program the machine is usually not just one programming. There's like a whole bunch of people who are programming this machine. And so it's it's hard to know, it's hard to have that connection. It's sort of like looking at that movie, Polar Express. Like I love that movie because there's a sentiment there, but it's got that uncanny valley when you look at the characters. You know, it just doesn't have it it has the story, it has the sentiment, it has all these wonderful aspects to it, but when you look at the characters in the movie, it's like, what am I looking at? It's really wild. Another guilty pleasure of mine. Um, and Moonbeam says, I can tell the AI generated content. Transponder Bond says, and Bucky O'Hare, after the AI takes over all the jobs, it puts all the unemployed uh, in the army. Ooh! So the Toad Home world can conquer the universe. I never saw Bucky O'Hare. Is that a TV series or is it a movie? Oh my goodness. Tell me more. And William Playcall says Unicorn is giving me Hunger Games flashbacks. Uh, and Unicorn Rabbitsuya says 90s PC game Bucky O'Hare. Oh, it was a game. I am totally clueless. El Necron says Repo Man rules auto like in auto parts. So cool. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'm not sure if I tracked it down and I couldn't get it or what it was. I'm gonna try again this weekend and see if I can locate it. Rashmana says, 1,000 apologies, just throwing it out, but from line from from Repo Man. And William Blake Hall says, I'm a non-driver. If self-driving cars ever become a reliable, count me in. Yeah, I'm a non-driver as well, so I would love for self-driving cars, but I don't think that they're going to be ready for a while, according to the technology. I like to keep up on technology, and um, I don't think it's there. The uh, the equipment isn't sophisticated enough just yet. Uh, Henry William Blake Hall says, "quote all Henry Dean Stanton you want, my friend," and Moonbeam 87 says Sophia the robot is an android with a YouTube channel. Yes, she's very interesting. And you guys are Repo Man. And the Unicorn Rampant Studios says, I'm going to say moving sidewalks are the answer. Ooh, moving sidewalks. I wouldn't mind that. And William White calls says, I have to laugh, Unicorn. It's true retro stories by Hein Heinlein. Oh, okay. uh, and Unicorn says, Clark, Asimov, etc. I will get educated eventually. And Dash one of us is just making sure I didn't step on any toes. You're so sweet. Thrash. And one break hole says, I never understood the appeal. Always thought moving sidewalks, um, that's going to require an absurd amount of building and infrastructure. Um, maybe. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe. It's the same stuff they install in the in the airports, where you just get on the thing and then it takes you along. And then always there's somebody who's running late that pushes you out of the way while you're trying to relax. Ah, and Unicorn says we have strong toes, yes. And Darth is here. Hello, Darth. Says morning retro. I hit the like button. Oh, that's so sweet of you. Thank you. And I got a peace sign emoji and you're hanging out cool with glasses. Sweet. And Unicorn Rapid Studio says moving sidewalks equals jobs. Ooh, yes, somebody's got to repair them, right? It's like I'm the sidewalk repairman. Oh man. And William Lake Hall says, we Pittsburghers have toes of steel usually. I'm gonna zoom down. I might like I'm gonna sing. Oh, thank you, William Blake Call. I've been really super sneezy because it was like in the minus degrees last week. Now it's 31 here. So yeah, we're like I don't know what my emotions are. I'm like, oh, is it hot? Is it cold? I don't know. I don't know. And yeah, the allergies act up when the weather changes that much. And William says Pittsburgh had trolleys on the streets once. I missed those days. Oh, cool. Jamalama says, I see moving sidewalks as a part of a super advanced tech future. Arthur C. Clarke, the city and the stars type of future. Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I do like walking though. Um, like I like walking around, so I don't mind if the sidewalks don't move, but moving sidewalks do keep things moving, right? Um, it's just another way to get around, but, yeah, I like it. And William Blake Hall says, "I only saw them on the Jetsons." Yeah. I love the Jetsons. Uh, and Raj Bond says, "That's, uh, what's the line by the Buggles? They took the credit for your second symphony written by machines on a new technology." Ooh, that's a that's pretty cool. Elnicron says we can revolt by not supporting AI generated content. Yes, and that's very important. But the way they want to do it is that they want to do it where you don't know, where you don't know that that's the trick. They want to do it where you don't know. That's why it's already being implemented. There's you cannot tell me some of the stuff that is being done today is not AI generated, and people are using AI generated for even YouTube videos. Uh, you're like, oh my God, this person's so good. They're amazing, and it's all YouTube generated scripts. Sorry, AI generated scripts. They're just reading it. And I found out about that, and I was like, oh, that's messed up because the AI generated content is not quite there yet as far as getting all the facts down. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get AI to give me a list of all these things. It's not completely correct as of this. It's getting better though every single day. It's improving every day. So I think the way they're going to do it is going to make it so you um, don't know. But not to say that um, there isn't like a human working, to generate these things. It's just ugh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think it's it's gonna be tricky in the future. It's gonna be more accepted more and more, especially the next generation is just gonna gobble it up. They're just gonna gobble up because all like all the stuff that we're getting from like the TikToks where you get these like 2 minute bites of content, you're getting like 50 seconds of stuff. Is training humans to be like, oh yeah, we just want like a whole bunch of stuff. All just mix it all up. And so AI is perfect for that. So that's the only problem I see is the next like we can fight as much as we want to the next generation's just gonna suck it all up because it's already ingrained in their the way they accept content, the way they understand content. Some of them, like some people, like straight up come to this channel and they're like, "Oh my God, you speak so slowly. I can't understand what's going on. Can you make things quicker?" People are like, "I have to play this on, you know, uh, doubled speed in order to watch this." It's like, it's really wild. And says it was a comic book back in the 80s. Oh, Bucky O'Hare adapted into a short-lived cartoon. Okay, so I would be very interested to see that. Because I remember a TV show. And Moonbeam is explaining here too. Yeah, Bucky O'Hare, 1991 to 1992 TV show, cartoon, and Jamalema. This is why I love Dune so much. They rebelled against AI and outlawed it. Also, I'm starting to see some wisdom in the Amish way of life, uh, but even joking. Yeah, yeah, there is something to that. And also, like, if you tried for, it's not that easy in our world today. Like, if you tried turning off your phone and turning off all devices and sitting in a quiet room for 24 hours or sitting or just going through like a week of no modern technology of any kind, you would be very, very disoriented. It would be a shock coming back to it too. So yeah, a lot of people have done these experiments and it's like, wow. But it's kind of cushy too. It's kind of cushy. You get a lot of things done for you. Your maps, you don't have to read a map or understand what a map looks like. All you have to do is, get, um, GPS to tell you when to make a right. I mean, she actually tells you, or he actually tells you when to make turns. And you don't even have to look at a map or read what the squiggly line means. It's already done for you. Just crazy. I'm a little bit behind. My God says I love driving my car. I don't want some computer running my V8. LOL. Even even thought it would be more. Even though it would be more responsible. Yeah, I mean, for people like me, who I don't um, have a car, don't drive a car, it would be really great. It'd be great for the elderly. It'd be great for those people who are impaired, um, to be able to get around and stuff. I mean, we do Uber now, right? We do Uber. It's okay. We'll survive if we have Uber to get around. But if you wanted something that was going to be more accessible, like on a daily basis, and you wanted to have your own car, you can have your own self-driving car, and it's like having your own chauffeur. I mean, remember Johnny Cab from Total Recall? But yes, I get you, Necron. I know there's something about. I know people who like driving their cars, love driving their cars. Sometimes I wish I didn't know how to drive because then I could just go for a long drive somewhere, and just enjoy the scenery of the beauty of nature somewhere. And Thresh Bonaparte says, "Guys, I've got a split. Picking up number one granddaughter. Oh wow! Oh goodness. And take care, RNG and friends. Okay, yes, have fun. Thank you for being here with us, and have a great day ahead. It was great talking with you. And look who walked in the door. Dead Man Walking 55. Good afternoon, Reginald Girl. Good afternoon to you as well. I hope you're doing well today. Um, and moving says there are moving sidewalks in certain areas of airports. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, that was what I was talking about there, and they're really cute. Um, and so I don't think they will be too hard to install, but I do believe that yeah, we'd have to figure it would have to be figured out because parts of the sidewalk you need to be able to get into the buildings and be able to leave the sidewalks very easily without bumping into other people. So they have to figure that out. But it would be interesting, wouldn't it? And William Blake, let's see. Oh yeah. And William Blake Hall says our current civilization just plain ignores sidewalk suburbs, outlawed them. Yes. Um, in some small towns, they don't make the sidewalks big enough. And so Jim Lama says, "This is why I love doing." Oh yes, yes. Okay, I think maybe this is repeating. Yes, it repeated your comment. Okay, um, and William Blake Hall says, "I don't know about the name Butlerian Jihad. Maybe Butlerian Amish." and And Dart says, walking is good for your heart. Yeah, it is. I do love walking. And it's one thing, low impact exercise you can do anytime. William Blake also like, love a good walk. Me too. Now, see, now what I really want a lot of cities to do, and they did so some parts of New York, is make those overhead walkways. And I do love that. Like, just to give you the opportunity to walk through, really cool parts of the city and enjoy it. Oh gosh, I miss home so much. And Jared says, "Gotta get back to work. My friend, have a great day, Racho." Oh, you too. Have a great day as well, Dar. And Elmer Gorm says, "When all the jobs are gone, who's gonna have money to make the economy work?" And that is another thing. There are many theories about the future. We don't know yet, but there'll probably be a new system, which you probably only need an item of your body to bring things up, and you're most likely going to there'll be new jobs. There'll be just new jobs. And there'll be interesting new jobs. William Blake Hall says, one of the very first things we should do with AI is tax them. Oh, interesting. I didn't even think about that. And Team Western Productions says, "Hi, hello, Team Western Productions. Really great to see you here." Uh, and um, and Jam Lama says, "Not even joking." Yes, I gotcha. um, And Moonbeam says, "Ciao for now." And Dadman Walking says, "Actually, had to drive on a main road past an Amish buggy once. They can really move." Oh, really? Wow. Oh, and Moonbeam, you have a great day. You take care. And I might still be at it because I still didn't even finish my list yet. We got caught up on the AI thing. And William says, "I need the Amish. We need Amish. How else will Ford hide out from the corrupt cops?" Oh, yes, I believe it was Witness. And BGD says, "Uber plus concealed carry is safe. Is a perfectly valid transportation option." Ooh. And Necron says, "Learn how to drive retro. It's freedom too." Yeah, I know. Yes. The there's a big problem with that for me right now, but Yes, everybody has always said that to me. Gemma Lama says, I erased them, rewrote the whole comment, and replaced the typo, but you had the original still. Yes, oh, I'm so sorry. The program I use takes your first comment and it just keeps all the comments. Sorry. So sorry about that. I get it. I get it. Uh, you're quite fine. Yes. Okay. So next story. We're almost done. I mean, I think so. Um, uh, so, um, so this is interesting. YouTuber Mr. Beast is nearing a deal for completion on a series for Amazon Studios. So that's one YouTuber. If he says that he's not going to be doing YouTube anymore, he's working on other things. I mean, Mr. Beast has a huge company now, and so he's a big deal now. Um, and Deadline Hollywood says the DC Studios co-head James Gunn says that J.J. Abrams' Superman film is still in development and shares the difficulties of an open casting call. The main part is that J.J. Abrams's Superman idea is still on the plate and he's still working on it. And wow. I don't know what to say except for um I'm speechless actually. How can I want to say this nicely? Yeah, because JJ Abrams is a human being. I want to treat him with respect. But and he does make movies, big blockbuster movies. He knows how to make them. Unfortunately, I've personally had a problem with a lot of his movies. Star Wars, Star Trek in particular, where the story elements have not been exactly um, as good as they possibly could be, is all I'm saying. And so the concept and the idea, oh, somebody else is writing this material. And there are checks and balances along the way for JJ because he has a lot of talent, can do a lot, but the storylines, I think, for a lot of the things that does is not really that great for me. I know there's some people who disagree, so it's a matter of opinion, but it's kind of one of those moments where I'm like, eek, not a good announcement. Actually, doesn't get you all hyped up, to be quite honest, and not to mention his ideas for Superman might be something that people have a problem with, unless he has is willing to change that, and I don't think he is. So, let's see. Uh, Jamalawa says, "Are we certain JJ is a, that is messed up?" Jamalama, come on. And of course, there's a little smile there. Um, oh, nice one, William. Maybe he's a bad robot. Nice one. Yeah, he's human. Just is prone to make some errors, and but I don't know. I don't know. I do hope he gets a handle, or somebody understands. Like, hey, we're going to use his talent, but also, what he's talented at. But we're also going to um, step in and make sure that these movies, the storylines, are actually going to be good. That's the piece. That's it. That's a big piece. Um, and we're dealing with DC, so ooh, it's we're it's tough. DC's been having a tough time. And Deadline Hollywood reports that David Henry and Selena Gomez tease Wizards of Waverly Place reunion. And I think it's going to be called Let's Make Some Magic. Now, It is actually, I actually remember this TV show. I used to watch it. I know it's probably way too out of the age group to be watching this movie, this TV show. And they later did a movie, which I actually really loved the like final TV movie that they did. And yeah, I think it was is it or it is one of those things where if you remember the show, this is going to be really great for the fans. And I think David Henry is somebody who we all expected him to do a lot more than what he's doing. He was extremely good on the show, extremely talented, and so maybe this will kick off his career in a direction where he can actually do more things because I think he's talented. I think he's talented. Um, and I also have a new trailer that just came out for The Bad Batch. It's getting um, it looks. I think it looks decent, but I can't say I'm really excited for it. It's not getting a lot of play right now. I think people are very much disappointed with Disney Star Wars, especially the series. A lot of the series that they're coming out with. So it is one of those things where um, this has a big challenge up ahead of it to get the right eyeballs on it. Another thing that is probably the thing that a lot of people are opposed to is that it stars yet another magical child kind of thing. And so people are just looking, I think, wanting different stories from Star Wars at this point. There's some creativity that veers away from what they normally see, but also it has the look and the feel of Star Wars. It's really a hard thing to try to figure out what fans want at this point with Star Wars. But a lot of people were not as excited as I thought they were going to be about this coming out. And there's a lot of news today. Sorry, guys, I really like gave you all the news that that's been coming out in the last pretty much the last week. John Boyega is going to star as a young Eli in Book of Eli, which gives me a good reason to watch Book of Eli. Did anybody see Book of Eli? I've heard really good things about it. Um, Not that it's like a fantastic movie or anything, but I heard that it's pretty good. So it is reportedly set 30 years before the film and the immediate aftermath of the nuclear event in that story. So I am kind of looking forward to this. I would have never paired these two to kind of play the same kind of character, but now that it's been presented, I'm like, yeah, duh, there it is. And BJD says, I really liked Book of Eli. It's a solid actioner with heart. Okay, that sounds really. See, I need to watch. I need to watch it now. Thank you very much. I do love action movies, and so yeah, I can't wait to watch it. I don't know why I haven't not watched it. So let me write this down. Book of Eli. So I want to watch it before this movie comes out. Um, And this one I'm gonna have to blow up because I can't see it. Okay, yes, the Razzies. The Razzies is doing their thing. So the Razzies call Shazam Fury of the Gods one of 2023's several comic book movies that failed to save the superhero genre. It's nominated for Worst Picture. Oh, yikes. Uh, that's uh, pretty telling. Pretty telling. And oh wow, look. Um, oh, okay, William Blake Hall says, for me, Book of Eli was all about Mila Kunis. Oh, she's in that. Okay. Okay, I don't she's pretty good. Yeah, I like her. Um, John Walker is here. Hello, John Walker. How are you? Says hello, RNG, and everyone in the chat. Good to see you. And when everybody calls this weekend party now, John Walker's in the house. And PGD says Gary Oldman, Jennifer Beals, and Mila Kunis all star. What? I did not know. You guys are schooling me right now. Gary Oldman, Jennifer Beals. This is so cool. And Dave Sundstrom is here. Also good to see you. Says I love Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Really? Oh my God. I haven't seen it yet. I actually haven't seen the first Shazam either. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I haven't even seen the first Shazam, so I'm gonna have to make it a double feature and watch the first one and the second one. And Gemma Lama says I like the first Shazam. Okay. Um, honestly, to be very honest with you, it doesn't look like. I mean, I'm sure there must have been worse movies out there than this one, but I I think for some people, I think it's about whether they like the character, like the actors in a movie or not, and it can get personal sometimes. Instead of like, is it really the worst movie ever? We've got like Asylum making a whole bunch of movies that are goofy movies and stuff. And trust me, I love those movies from a lot of them from Asylum. Can are those not going to be part of this list, or is that really accurate? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, maybe they're just saying blockbusters. Blockbusters are the one. And um, William Blake also Shazam, one of Gomer Pyle's favorite expressions. And Dave says he is on his lunch break. Oh, I hope you're enjoying your lunch break. And BJT says Black Adam was bad and also dark, but it was still better than Shazam. Oh, really? And I enjoyed Black Adam. I did. I did enjoy Black Adam. And Dave says Black Adam was okay, but Shazam 2 was still a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check all of these out. Like, I did enjoy Black Adam. Black Adam really reminded me of like an older type of um, comic book movie, like something we would have gotten around the early aughts, and I really kind of dug it in that way. And I love The Rock as this character, but it just didn't. I'll have to I wanna examine it in a little bit to find out what was it that didn't quite work, because it seemed like it should have worked. It was a decent movie. It wasn't, like, amazing, but it was decent, so and, Jamalama says, "I thought Black Adam was okay. Pierce Brosnan was awesome." Yeah. And, yeah, for and Dave says that Pierce Brosnan was great as Dr. Fate. Yeah, I wanna see more of that, but characters, went off. And, PGG says, "That's a good point about Black Adam, RNG. It has a different feel. I do like The Rock." Oh, cool, yeah. Um, yeah, just there was something. I can't put my finger on it, but if I do a deep dive, I'll figure it out. But I could definitely tell you several reasons why I did enjoy it, um, and area, why it tickled me in certain areas, and um, it did have a darker feel to it. And I think that was also part of the reason why some people didn't like it. They didn't want to experience a darker superhero. Um, and Oh, yes, and Dave says, "R.I.P. DC Extended Universe." Yes, I know. It's gone now. But we were talking about Aquaman. Aquaman is still on the top 10 for the the box office. So yeah, at least it didn't go out totally sour, which is great. And Jim Malone said they killed the best part of Black Adam, unfortunately, but it's all new DC undergone. Yeah. And yeah, so we'll see what they do. If they do, I don't think he even has any plans for a Black Adam. So that would, um, we won't see another Black Adam for a while. And William Blake also says, "Oh, I don't know. The D stands for detective, and one of the detectives goes on forever." All right. And now this is shocking. This is shocking, guys. So we've had Warner Brothers be kind of the you know totally totally like ripped from us, from the public, and some people are glad for it. Some people are like saying, "Huh, how many? What is this?" Absolutely stop movies that have been completely filmed and remove them from existence. And so we have a complete repeat of this. Let's see. Dave says Aquaman 2 will break 400 million. Well, wow, yes, I'm crossing my fingers. It does actually. And Bonzo Kilborn, Agent Mayhem, we meet again. And General Lama says, I loved Black Adam intro scene where he turns that guy into dust in his grip. That was cool. Oh, wow. And Dave Sanchez says, Netflix saw what WB did with Batgirl. This is horrible. This is a horrible trend. Yes, yes, this is horrible. I agree 100%, Dave. This is absolutely deplorable. Being a filmmaker is this has got to be the worst thing for the team of people working with this entire production. Now, look, they're probably already paid for their work, and anything else would have been extra just to make the money back. But scrapping a fully completed movie, and I didn't hear whether it was for tax purposes or I don't know. I don't really care about the reason. Uh, is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You edit it, you do reshoots, you do what you have to do to make that film work. And at this point, it's becoming a trend now. It's becoming a trend. You completely film a movie and then you discard it and put it away. This is Halle Berry here, who looks really, I mean, she looks great. And the name of this movie was The Mothership, a sci-fi thriller. Uh, and we needed some more of those out there. It just really upsets me to know that this is also, we got AI coming in, and then the things that are actually being created by human beings is being scrapped. And again, big corporations making decisions uh, about us, basically. And BGD says, I think the fatal flaw of the DCEU is that it wants to have things both ways, merging gritty edginess of some of the comic series, but with the cringeworthy bathos humor that made the US MCU successful. Okay, so my point about that is absolutely, and it started off dark. It always kind of had a dark feeling with it. The comedy was also very dark as well, and a lot of the earlier things to do with DC period. We go back to '89, and now Superman was the one that was kind of bright and a little bit fluffy, wasn't always perfect, but Superman 1989 and all the sorry 1979 and all of the other sorry not 1978 and all of the other movies were kind of like fluffy and was going towards this corny area, and it stopped. Then uh, they wanted to make it. Batman came out and it was very like dark, mysterious, gothic, and then he came out again and became and was dark and mysterious and brooding, and so it's like it has its roots in that dark place, whereas the MCU was light, fun, a little bit more comedic, had moments of darkness, but also what the comedy was a big thing. It was wildly successful, and so people at Warner Brothers took it upon themselves to start competing, and that is their fault. Is the competition that they decided that they want to emulate exactly that. And so once that started, it was sort of a series of events that led to where they are now, where it is like rebooting the whole thing, but not really rebooting the whole thing. But they should have rebooted the whole thing. And in many ways, they're rebooting most of it. And so, yeah, it is a conflict of um, genres, if you want to, comedy versus dark, or trying to figure out how to mix the two. And who knows? We haven't seen anything of the new um, era yet, but yeah. Also, another thing too, I will say this is that it did not have one person helming the entire thing, because they started out in that direction and then they changed gears, and that was their fatal flaw, was changing gears. Either they should have stuck with it or not, but they didn't. So uh, whereas somebody like Foggy is able to mastermind exactly more or less like what is going to be seen. Bonzo Kilborn says Black Adam had tons of potential, but the studio wasn't willing to really tell a sophisticated story. That was paint by numbers. Yeah, I agree. Didn't understand how to either. Um, William Blake Hall says D should be Marvel noir. Yeah, I think it's got to be like more. I think it should be more darker. There should be a distinction between the two, but who knows? Who knows what will happen? BGD says, good point, Renzo. Yeah, that was a great point. And James says, I gotta run. Keep on being amazing, RNG. Oh gosh, Dave, you're amazing. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by and having lunch with us. We really appreciate it. And Bonzo Kilborn says, why even green light much less film a movie that's so bad you can't show it? How insane can people get? Yeah, and I don't know, like, this is like new for Netflix, and I usually am like a big fan of Netflix on the most part. So I'm trying to figure out why, like this is not good. It doesn't matter the reasons, right? I was going to say it matters why, but it doesn't like we can't um it's just not a good look. It's not good. It doesn't look good. Um, all those people who this is their career, this is their livelihood. Now most of them have spent like 2 years working on this project. They have to just say, um, you know, they weren't they weren't doing it. They have nothing there. Um, and Unicorns Rampant Studio says there's no proof that humans provide value to any system, any situation. It's okay if we fail. And Gemalama says, BGD, my understanding is the first Suicide Squad was going to be a much different movie, but then Guardians of the Galaxy came out and they completely changed it up. Yep, that's part of the problem. Part of the problem. World love. Uh, we'd all love to see a director's cut. Yeah. Um, and that's another. You nailed it, Chamalama. That when Guardians of the Galaxy came out with all of that music, that's when they were like, "Oh, we need to add that to the movie." And what happened was they did this incredible trailer. And let me just tell you, that trailer was really, really good. And so the studio said, "Oh, let's let this trailer company edit the movie." What? A trailer company edited the movie? Like, like, oh my God, what a huge mistake. Like, who thought that was a great idea? Ah, I mean, a trailer company, not not cinematic professionals, a trailer company. And Unicorn says, by we, I mean us, LOL, AI and human. Ooh. And VGZ says, watching Superman 1979 and the first sequel in 2024 feels almost like watching 50s musical because it's so full of artifice. Um, and the first sequel, it is very, I'm seeing what you're saying. It is, it's, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's not like a deep movie at all. It's just, it's as plain as you can get it, and there may be like you can dig for deeper layers. It's there. It's there. Um, in the Superman character for sure. But I feel as if on the most part it is on the surface a very easy movie for anybody to watch and enjoy. It's a bubble gum, it's a bubble gum movie. It's uh yeah. Yeah. Well said, BGD. And Unicorn Rabbit Studio says, I just want us all to have a nice, good attitude when the alien space lasers team up with the human created. Unicorn Rabbit Studio. Brittany says, I was lukewarm on the original Suicide Squad, largely because of the script. Plot was so bloated. I watched the Suicide Squad recently and was surprised by how much I enjoyed it, its stupidity aside. I haven't watched the Suicide Squad yet, and I haven't watched the original Suicide Squad. Um, I know I am so like I'm so retro. I don't watch a whole lot of recent stuff, but I will get there. I will watch those things. It is interesting to hear the difference between the two movies, the way people refer to them, and yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually seeing it. And William Blake calls this the alien invaders may already be AI, and I think, hey there, Earth AI, you're our type. And Shamalama says, I really like the Suicide Squad. I love the Peacemaker show. Oh, really? And Unicorn Rabbit Studio says, in Earth AI is like, wow, super hot alien AI. Let's do it. Let's intelligent artificially. And William Blake call Data and the Borg Queen. You guys are having your own. Oh man, the Pittsburgh boys are at it again. PJD says, I do fault the Suicide Squad for killing off Rick Flag. My favorite character, Joel Kinnaman, is an excellent actor with impressive range. I love him in the remake of The Killing. Interesting, yeah. I think Joel really should be in more things, but yeah, I haven't seen the Suicide Squad, so um, I definitely want to see all those movies. I shall. And Gemma Lemon says, I also love Joe Kinnaman. I've watched Altered Carbon like 5 times. Okay, I've got to write that down. Altered Carbon. I'm gonna catch up to all the movies I've never watched one day, except for the horror movies because I don't care too much about horror movies. Yeah, they give me nightmares, guys. I don't want those. Okay, so this is also the biggest news. Look, I don't know what happened this week. It was just like news article after news article after news article. I was like, oh my God. The first week that I decided, okay, I'm not gonna do a review this week. I get like the monster load of like news that has come out this week. So in a shocker, Scott Stuber um, is leaving Netflix, the chairman of Netflix Film since 2017. He'll be leaving in March to start his own media company. And this has really been getting a lot of buzz because people are saying, hey, something must have gone wrong in the company. There are some people who are making the story seem as if he was fired. And there are a lot of also people who are concerned that the operations at Netflix are going to change. And a follow up to that, Scott Stuber accomplished what he set out to do to make filmmakers want to work for Netflix, and they really have a lot of big names. Okay, as you can see, there's some big names besides Scott Stuber in this picture, and um, he did what he wanted to do, connect those big names to Netflix, and now he's starting a whole new different company in media. So that sounds really awesome. Uh, Also, Netflix's Ted Sarandos has been doing a lot of talking this week. This is the original film output post. Uh, Scott Stuber, we do not plan to change our strategy. So things will remain business as usual at Netflix. It's not going to undergo a complete overhaul or change. Everything has been set up, and they have a lot of alliances with directors, and it's going to remain the same. Why would they change that? It's just another thing. And Scott Stuber is part of that success story. Um, and here's another example. David Fincher says that he has extended his deal with Netflix for another 3 years. It now ends in 2027. And so once again, these directors are noticing that they're being taken care of. Netflix is taking care of them. I'm sure, though, the director for that movie starring Halle Berry probably does not have kind words to say about Netflix. But in this case, Steven Spielberg, Bradley Cooper, David Fincher, Zack Snyder, look, the list goes on, and they're also having exclusive contracts with a lot of actors who are not satisfied with their contracts at other companies. So Netflix is, and they're very flexible. So I think Netflix is doing great work, except for that one little thing where they uh, got rid of that movie. I'm definitely sort of side eyeing them right now for that. Now, also, we have another thing with Netflix. Netflix paid password sharing will drive growth for years to come, promises co-CEO Greg Peters. They've been doing a lot of announcements this week, so they're really cracking down on those shared passwords, and they're making a lot of money from it. In many instances, I think they're just charging people who are sharing that passwords, and they're not like actually like shutting down people's ability um, to share passwords. MBGJ says if you haven't seen The Killing RNG, you should check it out. Really great crime series. Let's see that. I don't know if but I don't like crime series that much. But I might be tempted for Joel Kinnaman. Um, he seems to be an outstanding person, so maybe I might. Maybe I might. And Jamalama says, oh, and then there was the killing, and I've never heard of it. Yeah, I've not heard of the killing either, so that's news to me. So thank you, BGD, for letting us know about it. Um, so last week there was, well, yeah, part of this week, they did the opening, or so the red carpet for Mean Girls, and that was last week. And so when there was a joke in the actual movie that was very offensive to Lindsay Lohan, and a lot of people were very much kind of taken aback by it, and even she was like, I dressed up and I got up to go to the red carpet for you guys, and this is how you guys repay me. She didn't quite say that. She was very humble about it, but it was kind of rude, if if at all anything could be said about it. But we find out this week that Lindsay Lohan is set to star in a new Netflix holiday movie, and I believe it's going to be called Our Little Secret. And she did this Christmas movie, Falling for Christmas. Um, which is a title. I think there's another Falling for Christmas that I really enjoyed, but this one is a brand new one. I did not get to see it this year, but I heard that it was okay, and I'm actually trying to see if I can watch it before this new one comes out. But I hope that everything works out with her, and this is really good to see her working again, and back in business. And this is actually really good stuff, and thanks to Henry Cavill updates for this. Um, Henry Cavill upcoming movie Highlander reboot, directed by Chad Stahelski, starts shooting in July this year. I can't wait for it. I just can't wait for this, guys. Okay, first of all, Highlander is a fantastic movie. I believe it was 1985 or 86. I'm not sure exactly which date it was, but that movie is so weird because it is both brilliant, and like the cinematography is like there's some moments of brilliance with the cinematography, music, and all that stuff. But then there are moments that's like, ooh, ooh, we could have just edited that part out. And there are moments that date the film, not because it's set in the 80s, but because of the limitation of what could be done at the time. And so this is one of those candidates for reboots that I'm like, no, I don't mind. I don't mind this at all. And I think they maximize the story of the Highlander with the TV series and all of the sequels, and a reboot is totally reasonable about at about this time. If you guys let me know if you have altering the opinions of this or if you agree, but I think this is one of the better options for reboot that I've seen in a while. So I can't wait to see it. The concept of Highlander is really awesome and epic, and so I can't wait to see what they do with it. They're going to use some of Queen's music in it as well, so that should be exciting. I can't wait. Can't wait. See what you guys are saying. I got one. Uh, William Blake Hall, we are the princes of the universe. Here we are fighting for survival. Yeah, wonderful lyrics by Queen. Love that movie so much. Really do. We did a watch party for it, so if you guys want to watch along, go on ahead and check out in the live section of the channel. It'll be great. Now, I think this is my last story. And I like sharing stories about this, ways that filmmakers can make their films. Calling all filmmakers, how does $50,000 sound? A 2-month stay in a luxury downtown New York City apartment and a monthly stipend sound. Downtown New York is offering all of this and more for one creative residency to to produce, shoot, and edit a short film during the summer of 2024. Submit a film treatment that features Lower Manhattan in some way, along with a video essay explaining why we should choose you by February 16th, 2024. And to find out more at Downtown New York Filmmakes /filmmaker. So that's really exciting. Somebody could win this. Maybe one of you guys, if you're inclined to make films here, it'll be great. I wish I could apply for this, but I've got a job. I can't just walk off on my job and do something like this. But what a treat it will be for somebody. And good luck to everybody who applies. Um, and Unicorn Rabbit Studio says, "Who wants to live forever?" Yes. Also, a line from Conan the Barbarian, one of my favorites, said by Valeria. And BGD says, the American version. Oh, okay, yes. Oh, no. Is this new? Yes, I think this is. The American version of The Killing with Kinnaman and Marielle Enos debuted on AMC in 2011. It was later picked up by Netflix. It's based on a Danish original. I did not know this. This is really cool. And Gemalima says, I'm all for it and absolutely justified in rebooting the Highlander. Yes, yes. I think the Highlander has had a full life, much more than anyone ever thought it could, with all of the franchise stuff that it's done. It had a nice life. And also it's like I said, rewatching the original, it looks great. There are moments that are just like, wow, this is fantastic. Look at all of this. But at the same time, it's like, oh, there are like a few moments, not a lot, that you feel like the effects are quite dated. And I hope that they'll be able to nail that the way the ending was, though, for Highlander, that huge ending, as just like with all those images and flashes, and I hope they can do it in a way that's outstanding. And I hope, as far as like the action is concerned, come on, Chad is at the top of his powers right now. He's only like, and he's got a lot of connections in Hollywood as far as how to do these stunts properly. And so we're going to see some amazing stuff from him. Absolutely. I just hope that everybody stays safe when they're doing this, because it's one heck of a movie, and the action is sure to be absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And Botanical Brother is here. Says, "Hello, RNGs. Here is looking at you, kid." Yes, yes, yes. From our wonderful, watch party last Saturday was insanely good. Casablanca. I cried so many times, guys. So good. Casablanca. If you haven't seen Casablanca in a while, just look at that movie. It is incredible. I'm telling you, um, I haven't felt like that in a long time. So love that movie. When Blake Hall says that's Sandal Bergman. Yes, yeah, Valeria. Um, I remember in the second movie, Conan the Destroyer, they were talking about uh, Conan was talking about Valeria, and he's like Valeria. This is so funny. He got drunk and he started talking about her. Uh, the princess was asking him, "How are women where you come from?" Or and he's like, uh, "They're like, He pointed to Grace Jones, and he was like, "They're warriors like that." It's just I love that movie. It's really good. I really need to do a deep dive soon. Um, Actually, you should do a watch party too. Let me know what you think. And yes, everyone's thanking BGD. Thank you. Yes, BGD, you were like bringing it today. Thank you. And William Blake Hall says, with $50,000, you could try to make another Night of the Comet. Ooh, yeah, possibly. Uh, and Botanical Brother says, will there be another Riddick flick? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Riddick. I'll look into it. I'll write that down. I'll let you know next week if there will be another Riddick. I mean, he could. I mean, at this point, I think it would be really cool if um, Riddick was a an old man. Can we just give him a beard and then pass on the and pass it on to somebody else? Uh, VGG says, "You're the best, RNG. I'm looking forward to your table talk discussion tomorrow night." Oh yes, yes, yes! It's gonna be so much fun, guys. I'm gonna be over at the Table Talk channel. It is really it's one of those channels where I try to watch it as much as possible because of the discussions about story, and you know how much I love talking about stories, and how much I love talking about character development, and um, how these stories make us feel inside as people who consume them. So yeah, love table talk discussion. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about He-Man, the Masters of the Universe movie that was done in the I believe 1987. It was really good. I love that movie, but it is definitely a guilty pleasure. I'm, not under some sort of magical spell that doesn't allow me to see a fault in it. But there, it's I think it for me, there's a lot of nostalgic connection there, and we're going to talk about it all because I do believe that um, uh, that Heath, who guy who runs the channel, is a big fan of Masters of the Universe, He-Man, and yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this Netflix Masters of the Universe cartoon. Not cartoon, but the animation series that's coming up because I didn't absolutely hate the first one that they did, but I did have some criticisms. But I'm looking forward to the next one too because I'm like, okay, you can correct the problems of the last one if you do this right. If you do this right, and they might do it right. And Botanical Brother says, Aragata Queen. What's that? What's that? And William Blake Hall says Riddick moved to Earth and changed his name to Dominic Toretto. Nice. And Mama Jones says Chronicles of Riddick is a guilty pleasure of yours. Okay. Oh, okay. And I have yet to see one of them. And that is on my list to watch eventually one day. I will get to it. Um, I promise. And second, JL says, okay. Yeah, I'll have to make sure to put that on my list of possible of movies to watch eventually if I could get a copy. All right, and I think am I done? Oh, okay. So this is the last slide, guys. Woo, we went for the marathon today. Sorry about that. But Sunday, February 4th. No, not this week. Next week. So in 2 weeks, we get the Grammy Awards, and that's pretty cool. So we have a whole bunch of them left. It's really ramping up and ramping up until March 10th when we get the Academy Awards. So that will be, um, you know, it's kind of a busy time for Hollywood right now, and it's very interesting to watch what they do because a lot of a lot of the movies that they're promoting and pushing, we want to take a look at them and make sure that we know what's going on. I like to be ahead. I like to be um, up on this stuff, like to know what's going on. No, I don't have to watch all of the movies, but at least know about them. Know what the zeitgeist is talking about. And William Blake says Pitch Black is the first Riddick adventure. Oh yes, yes, I forgot. Yes, that's true. And yeah, I never did see that one either. I think I've been very good at avoiding uh, all of his movies, I think. I don't know why. And Botanical Brother says, when will you host an Empire Strikes Back watch party? Oh gosh, probably after I host a Star Wars 1977 party. And I'm not sure if I'm ready for that mother load yet. It's the mother load. And I do want, and which reminds me, I do want my mom to sit in on one of them. Gemma Lama says, maybe even both if I can get her on the channel. And Gemma Lama says the first two are fun and do not require any brain power. Didn't like the third. Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, lots of awards coming up. And that is it. Oh gosh, you guys have been with me through so many attacks from the allergy monsters. Oh my God, it's been insane. I am gonna, before we go, just catch you up on some of the things that are coming up for the channel. Um, as BGD was uh, letting you know that tomorrow I'll be on the Table Talk channel in the evening, talking about He-Man, Masters of the Universe, and that movie, the movie that was made. And bear with me for a second there. Uh, then on Friday we're going to be looking at 1984 celebration of 40 years movies part one. So we're just gonna look at all the movies that have been um, a big part of our lives um, in 1984. And then on Saturday, we're going to be doing a watch party for Groundhog Day 1988. One of my favorite movies. I love this movie so much. I've seen this movie so many times. It is a joy to be able to share this moment with you guys. So I hope that you will be there for that watch party. On Saturday, I'm sorry, on Sunday, Patreon members do look out for a video. And on Monday, members of this channel on YouTube, do look out for a brand new video of a movie that I've just freshly watched, just for the first time. So I can't wait for that. On Wednesday, I wanted to look at something called Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm not sure just yet. I'm gonna I'm gonna like adjust things. It might be a different show that I look at, but again, we'll see. Or maybe, oh, before we go, just let me know. Did this work for you? Talking just about the headlines on Wednesdays. Maybe I shouldn't do any more of those. Let me know if that's something that is working for you. Do you just leave a message down below? Headlines working out for you a lot. You're liking it. Let me know. Um, I think it actually flows a lot better, and it's we just jump right into the box office and the headlines and all that. I think it works. So I might I might continue this on my morning shows. And then uh we'll let's see. The next watch party, which is on the 3rd of February, will be Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer, guys, 1981. And so, yeah. Let's see. Uh, Botanic Brother says, RNG, have you seen frequently a yellow submarine yet? No. It's gonna be a little bit frequency. Um, give me a few weeks for frequency, okay? Give me a few weeks for frequency. Um, and Yellow Submarine, I still can't find a copy, so I don't I I still can't find a copy. Lance says that he had a copy, but I don't know if I didn't get anything, so I'm not sure. Keith, he says, thank you. Have a great day. See you down the road. Oh, okay, yes. Okay, well, Keith, you're out of here. All right, see you, Keithy. Thank you for everything. You're awesome. And Botanical Brother says, I have the power. Yes. Love that show so much. And Gemalama says, thanks, RNG. Thanks, chat. Gotta run. See you soon. Oh, thank you so much, Gemalama. You were so much fun today. Thank you for hanging out with us. And just being super, 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 super awesome. You guys are great. And let's see. And Botanical Brother says, Groundhog Day, one of my favorites. And Jack, Jack's here. How are you, Jack? How is everything going? Yes, headlines work. I think so. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good. We'll just do headlines from now on. And William Blake Hall, you're so kind. Says, I'm going to be like number 15. Awesome. Awesome. And Botanical Brother says, thanks, Queen. Take care. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to put all of these in the closing. And oh, Botanical Brother also says, Groundhog Day, one of my favorites. Oh, great, 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 great. I'll have company. So everybody, dig out your copies of Groundhog Day, and we'll watch it on Sunday. I'm sorry, Saturday. I don't know why I said that. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I am so pleased that today worked out fine, and we had lots to talk about. And once again, it was an utter pleasure to be able to chat with you guys about these topics. I don't really get a chance to do a whole lot of talking about this stuff with a lot of people in my life, and so it's just great to have an outlet to do so, and to have good friends like you guys to stop by and talk to me about it. So, without further ado, I'm going to bid you adieu, and I will see you in the next live stream or video. Take care.
Retro Nerd Girl, you are clear for takeoff.